Joel, could you say something so we can test the volume for the court reporter for me?
Floyd Hale is the greatest special master that ever lived.
Hard to argue with that. Teddy Parker stepped out for a minute. I thought I better wait for him. Joel, that settlement with Hannah Instruments, that's just for the Gallagher case, right?
No, they've settled multiple cases, Floyd. I'm not sure any of the details. Well, there's Chad. Chad could fill you in.
We've settled, at least unless there's some people have backed out, all of Will Kemp's cases. And while doing that, I've also settled other cases by other plaintiffs' firms. So
Do you mind sending me an email letter or something, the cases you're still in?
yeah, I can tell you right now it's Lampman and Jones, but I will send you an email.
Oh, which one is it?
The Jones case and the Lampman case, I don't know. I think the Jones case, Joel was getting the stip in order to have that coordinated, and Lampman were in the process of doing that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Floyd, the
No,
case
no.
of Cindy Jones, do you have that one yet?
I don't see it. That's why I was confused.
I'll make sure we get some.
I could have it, but I didn't, I didn't bring all the new ones in.
No, we had an
I'll just assume I'm a de facto on it until I see the order.
Thanks, Lord, I appreciate it.
Okay, let's get going. I see that Danielle Joslin, you folks made her fill out a 1.5-page affidavit on her typographical error on the hydrazine.
Yeah. Yep. We're still dealing with that. I don't want to spend too much time on it today. We're still looking at that, whether or not we follow up. We've not made a decision on it. I'm gonna be as brief as possible today, Floyd, in terms of my issue. That one
As the chair recognized.
came right now.
I've been watching too many hearings this morning. Go ahead.
Only because I'm in trial with Joel and his team. But we're gonna still talk some more about that. It's just not, unfortunately, at the top of the list right now for us, so we may or may not make that.
Well, just let me know. I'm just gonna
Okay.
hold it in advance then.
That sounds great. You could. I'll tell you, we need to get that back on schedule. The only other thing we have is we have a start of a model of an ESI search.
Oh. This is what we rejected a couple of years.
No,
Has this been routed?
this I'm just giving to you. This is new.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
we
Right, exactly.
rejected.
Now, this is
Has
just the
this
start.
been routed?
No, I'm just giving you, we just worked on it last night. So, Joel, we'll send this over to you. But what we're also thinking is that we're gonna need access to the actual hard drives there, or however native we can be with the documentation, however it's stored, and have our own expert take a look at them, and find out if there's a better way of getting to what we're trying to achieve here. One of the things that we ask in this document that I just gave Floyd is a deduplication. So we want to make sure, you see that in the last paragraph, Floyd. We want to make sure that what we're asking you to search is not simply a replication of something you've already produced. But what's important in us determining that is having an accurate index. So what we've had here, what we've given to Floyd is a list of all of the companies and derivatives of their names that we believe the start of the search should use, along with representatives and derivatives of their names, and of course E2, hydrazine, Hydra, Real Water, drinkrealwater.com. So there's a list here. I believe it's a workable getting list that we can employ, or your office can employ with Polo assistant create a list of documents that are available. First documents, and then of course the index corresponds to the documents. That's where we would like to start, but we'd also like the opportunity to have the actual, all of the hard drives available for our own expert to see if there's a more efficient way of determining if everything's been produced or may not.
So this is your complete list of the search terms?
Yeah, and Joel, I'm giving this to Floyd, I'll give it to you. Certainly, we want your feedback on it.
Just E-Servant and the Wren case and everyone.
We'll do.
And so the lead committee will be you and Joel.
Well, I don't know if I need to be the lead person on this. It'll probably end up being someone at Will's office,
That's fine.
but I get your point.
Why don't you two work together? I'm not going to queue it up again. Two of you ask me
That
to do
sounds
the
good.
same thing on for Daniel's
Okay.
declaration.
And then the only other thing is, when could we have access to the actual hard drives, all hard drives?
Well, we need to work out search terms first.
Well, that's the point. We were in our discussions last night. We were trying to decide: are we going to be relegated to just relying on Holo as opposed to being able to get a copy of those hard drives ourselves?
Well, you can't get the whole hard drive. It's going to have privileged information.
Well, we got to figure that out then. So let me ask Joel.
You can
Joel,
you can have your experts and Joel's experts together when they run the searches. That's what we've
Okay.
always done before.
okay. All right. Joel, do you know if the hard drives have been created in a way where the privileged documents have been segregated from the non-privileged documents?
I think we're, again, talking across purposes. I haven't seen, Floyd, whatever they've given you, but my understanding from last time is that was going to be provided to us by last Friday. It wasn't. So I do have some concerns about whatever it is. Obviously, I'd like to see it so we know what we're talking about. That's the first concern. The second concern I have is we're still not talking about the same thing. And I don't know if it's a misunderstanding or what the problem is, but Floyd, the hard drives that were received from Real Water, and again, we're using that term generically, to our knowledge, didn't contain any privileged materials. And those were duplicated for the Kemp Jones firm back in January. And Kelly Gates has acknowledged receipt of those. So I think that it's not accurate to say that plaintiffs don't have those hard drives. They've been in possession of them since January. They could have run any searches they want. They still can. When we were together last time, what we talked about was that plaintiffs were going to come up with an ESI protocol and searches would be run on the hard drives, whether they're by Holo or by some outside vendor. I have zero vested interest in that. I do not care who runs the searches. I don't care what searches are run. I trust that if there is something inadvertent that's privileged, the plaintiffs will alert us and not produce it. But we're still, I feel like it's Groundhog Day. We're talking about what we talked about last time and not picking up on that. So I am not a technical person. I don't know how the data is stored on those hard drives, but surely Holo does, because they were the ones who pulled the data to begin with. So anyways, it's a long-winded way of saying, what are we doing today?
No, I'm letting you folks figure out if you get to an impasse. I'm not doing anything on it until I'm asked. I've got two Erics up there. Pepperman, does your firm have the hard drives? Duplicated hard drives?
Hi, Floyd. I'm similar to Joel. I'm not a technical person. I'm not aware. I don't know. I don't want to say that we don't have them available. My understanding was that the hard drives were provided to Holo and the documents were uploaded. But if we have access to the native hard drives that we can search. I can't say that right now, one way or the other.
All right.
I think
Well, we're just at the beginning of this. Why don't you folks get together? Whatever you can work out by stipulation, I'm sure will be accepted by everyone. If you get to an impasse, let me know and we'll set up another hearing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Floyd, I think the point of today was, we looked at this. I think it's beyond our basic capabilities. We've retained an expert. We're going to have the expert look at this to be able to tell us what do we have, what do we need, and what's the best way to search that, and whether it's in conjunction with everyone else or just ourselves and what those abilities are. And then we'll get back to you after that.
No, that's fine. So whatever you folks work out, if it gets worked out, just notify all of us in writing as to what the agreement is. Same thing, you pass these search terms around and decide where the master search term list is. And then the experts can get together and do their searches, or actually if Will's firm has the duplicated hard drives, I guess they just do the searches whenever they want. But if there's an impasse on this search issue, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll assume you folks are plugging along and getting it resolved.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And the same thing on the that's part of that. But the reference to the document and the declaration I have from Daniel, is it Jocelyn?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. Yeah. I'm assuming that'll be sufficient unless I hear otherwise. And then I had a question on the stipulation order regarding discovery deadlines that was filed on May 14 in the Hunter Brown case. I assume we're still on track for that, closing discovery in August. Hearing no objection.
Floyd, this is Eric. Yes, my understanding is that we have the stip in order. Those dates are in place.
You do. I just wanted to make sure we were still on track.
Your Honor, Joel, I'd like to speak to that in a sec.
Yeah, it's almost been a month since that. So it's our 3 weeks anyway. Yeah, go ahead, Joel. What's the issue?
So with the Hannah settlement, a bunch of depositions got canceled while we're in trial, and I've not had a chance to see if anybody has renoticed those plaintiffs. But obviously, if Hannah is not taking the plaintiff depositions because they've settled in whichever case, and I didn't look closely which cases they canceled them, Real Water still wants to take those depositions. So we want to make sure that those don't drop off the radar. It happened while we were in trial, so we haven't had a chance to see which ones they canceled. And some of them, they were cross notice. So we just need to make sure that those depositions are still going forward.
And
They just
Joel,
need to
this
be-
is Chad. I think it was Milwaukee that noticed them because of the bankruptcy. They vacated it. So I think there's 3 that were not, another defendant had noticed or had interest. So I can send you that list of what those are. That was just Hannah, Milwaukee, and Real Water. But that's what happened.
Great. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it.
I don't have anything else.
That's it.
I was worried my computer wasn't working or the internet was down. I didn't get an agenda at about 4:30 last night.
Listen, everybody's working on something else.
Well, aren't you picking a jury today?
We've already picked
Oh, you've already picked it?
the jury, did openings. We've already done 9 witnesses already.
We're off the record.